Hello learners, I am Dr. Upendra Galgatte, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, Modern College of Pharmacy, Nigadi, Pune. I am going to discuss excipients for tablets. After completion of this video tutorial, learner will be able to define excipients, list ideal properties of excipients, explain necessity of excipients in tablets, and describe the categories of excipients and their role in tablets. Definition: pharmaceutical excipients are inactive substances other than active pharmaceutical ingredient that have been appropriately evaluated for safety and are intentionally included in a drug delivery system. No doubt, excipients enable the drug substance to be applied to the patient in the right form and supports the way and place of action without being active themselves. Ideal properties of excipients are: excipients must be non-toxic and acceptable to regulatory agency, must be commercially available in acceptable grade, cost must be acceptably low, must be physiologically inert, must be physically and chemically stable themselves in combination with drug, must be free of any microbiological load, must be cool compatible, must have no deleterious effect on bioavailability of drug. Now, pause a video for a while and think on why are excipients necessary in tablets. Note down your opinion in notebook. Okay, now guess your answer. The explanation is: excipient aid in processing of drug delivery system during its manufacturing, protect, support or enhance stability, bioavailability or patient acceptability, assist in product identification and enhance any attribute of overall safety, assist in the effectiveness and or delivery of the drug in use, assist in maintain the integrity of the drug product during storage. Categories of excipients and their role in tablets. The categories are diluents, binders and adhesives, disintegrants, lubricants, antiadherents and glidants, colors, flavors and sweeteners. Diluents. Diluents are fillers used to make required bulk of the tablet when the drug dosage itself is inadequate to produce the bulk. Secondary reason is to provide better tablet properties such as improve cohesion, to permit use of direct compression manufacturing, or to promote flow. Example: lactose anhydrous and spray dried lactose. Directly compressed starches such as Star RX 1500, hydrolyzed starch as Mdex and Cellutab. Microcrystalline cellulose, example Avicel, of both the grade pH 101 and pH 102. Dibasic calcium phosphate dihydrate, then calcium sulfate dihydrate, mannitol, sorbitol, sucrose, sugar tab, Dipac, Newtab and dextrose. Binders and adhesives. These materials are added either dry or in wet form to form granules or to form cohesive compacts for directly compressed tablets. Example include acacia, tragacanth, methyl cellulose, hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose, and polyvinyl pyrrolidone can be used as binders. Disintegrants. Disintegrants are added to a tablet formulation to facilitate its breaking or disintegration when it is in contact with water or GI fluid. Example include starch, Primogel and Explotab 1 to 8%, Vigum, Agdisol, Alginate, PVP cross-linked. One more category of disintegrant is super disintegrants. Super disintegrants are nowadays used to prepare super disintegrating tablets. Super disintegrant swells up to 10 folds within 30 seconds when in contact with water. Examples: cross carmylose, cross povidone, which is cross-linked povidone, and sodium starch glycolate. These three super disintegrants are widely used in fast disintegrating tablets. Lubricants, antiadherents, and glidants. All three are gathered in a one group. They have partially overlapping function. Now let us see one by one. Lubricants are intended to reduce the friction during tablet ejection between walls of tablet and walls of die cavity. Examples: stearic acid salts, stearic acid derivatives, magnesium stearate, talc, PEG, and surfactants. Now see about anti-adherents. Anti-adherents reduces sticking or adhesion of any of the tablet granulation or powder to faces of the punches or to the die wall. Examples include talc, magnesium stearate, and starch derivatives, colloidal silicas. Now let us see about glidants. Glidants are intended to promote flow of tablet granulation or powder materials by reducing friction between the particles. These are also known as flow promoters. Examples include talc 5%, cornstarch 5 to 10%, colloidal silicas, that is cabosyl or aerosyl, in the concentration of 0.25 to 3%. Next class is colors, flavors, and sweeteners. The purpose of colors is to distinguish off-colored drugs, product identification, production of more elegant product. Examples of colors are F, D and C dyes and D and C dyes. Colors used as solution in granulating agent. Leg forms can also be used. Legs have certain advantages over the colors. Legs are stable. Legs do not migrate in presence of heat. Therefore, mottling in the tablet is avoided by using leg. Flavors are limited to chewable tablets. Water-soluble flavors have poor stability, limited use. Oils are used. Oils are added in solvents of granulation. Flavors may be dispersed on clays or other adsorbents. Flavors are also available in emulsified form. Dry flavors are also available. Sweeteners. Sweeteners are mainly used in chewable tablets. Sucrose, saccharin, and aspartame are commonly used. However, saccharin has reported carcinogenic properties, therefore, its use is limited. Now, see the summary of excipients for tablets. What we have learned is summarized here. We have learned definition of excipients, ideal properties of excipients, necessity of excipients in tablets, categories of excipients and their role in tablets with examples. Dear learner, thank you for patient listening. Happy learning.